On tonight's show, we have hip-hop and pop musical artist Luna Gray. And now for your host, KoolKard. Welcome back to the show, y'all. Kicking it with KoolKard. I am your host, KoolKard, episode 56. Last week, I had Rebecca T. Clark. She's an author. She writes children's books, and she's an inspirational speaker for women. Just doing great things. We talked about how she was on TEDx. She did her TED Talk. Just talk about motivational things, how to get your kids in gear, how to stimulate their minds, and all that. And once again, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody is having a great New Year. Did get some news tonight that Dr. Dre, legendary living legend Dr. Dre, he had a brain aneurysm. So many prayers going up to him, and just keep him in your prayers, y'all. Pray for his family, pray for his health, and just pray that he pulls through. What a way to start the year, but you know, God is an awesome God. So we're gonna keep positive, stay positive, and put them prayers up. Now we're talking hip hop, Dr. Dre. Tonight I have a hip hop and pop. I want to call her an icon in the making, man, because I'm telling you, when I listen to her and I see everything that she has going on and how she's branding herself, she's just different. And that's in a good way. It's just different. And I love it because it's creative. It's her. She's being her, and everything that she is putting out into the universe and branding herself as is, I can tell, it's genuine. It's her. So I can't wait to dive in, talk to her, see what she's got going on, talk about her projects. We're going to premiere, I don't want to say premiere, but on my show, we're going to premiere her video. It's been out, but on my show, I'm going to premiere her music video. And we're just going to talk, man. We're going to get into it. I mean, she's fun. I'm telling you, she has a very good, great, fun personality. And I think you're going to enjoy this interview. And her name is Luna Gray. She goes by the name of Luna Gray. And let me bring her in with a nice, cool intro like I like to do. And we're going to get this show on the road. Happy New Year, y'all. Luna, there you go. I don't know why it took so long to bring you in. What's going on? Luna Gray. What's up?
You talked me up pretty big there. I better keep up with what you just said about me. Now I gotta really bring it, huh?
Yeah, man. You coming through like King Kong. You got a very big personality.
Thank you.
I love it.
You just gotta let it out. Whatever you feel, just let it out. Just
Absolutely.
Be you.
Absolutely. Be free, be you. Now, that was your song, Big Boys.
Yes.
That's what you're pushing out there, promoting right now. Listen, man, I'm telling you, I meant everything that I said in the intro. Like, I really feel like everything about you is organic. It's not a show. One thing, and we're gonna get into the song in a minute, but one thing that I do love, and I was watching Drink Champs the other day, and Nori was telling who was he talking to? He was telling somebody how they're a character, right?
Mm-hmm.
How characters last. And I say character like, and he meant character like you're being yourself. Is nothing that you're putting on. It's not a show. It's not an act, but you're big. You're big as life, and you create a character outside of the person that you are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a character, and it's a fun character. And I guess your character's name is Luna Gray, right?
I guess it is. You know, it's funny because I actually spoke to someone about this subject recently, and one of the most important things, everything's good? Okay, sorry. My 10% battery just came on. So, the most important thing about being a character is that you still gotta have character.
Yeah.
Okay, you can be a character, but you gotta have character.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, and Luna Gray, you know, that's me. It's like, that's my stage name, you know?
Yeah.
And the way it came about is actually kind of random because my mom, her whole life, she went by Luna. That's not her name. My mom's name is not Luna. When I was growing up, she always had like moons around the house and stuff, and she always called herself Luna. Then I was like, you know what? That's mine. I'm Luna now. So
Luna Gray. That's your alter ego, but it's you though. See, and like you said, you can be,
ego.
huh?
This is the real ego. This is not the alter ego. This
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
real...
yeah. No. That's why I said, and that's why I followed that up by saying, but it's you.
Right.
But it's you. But you know what? See, this is the thing. I don't know you on a day-to-day, and you may be like that all the time. But what you put out into the universe as your brand, I know that's you as well. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said alter ego. But I like what you said. You could be a character, but you still got to have the character. And that's why I know that it's genuine with you. Because you are a character and you got plenty of character. And it keeps people engaged. And I see all the stuff that you post, and it's like all a part of your brand. It all goes together. It all makes sense to me. I see it. And I'm sure if I see it, other people see that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. And listen, I put on the description of the show, it's like you're creating like your subgenre of hip hop. You know, because I can't put my thumb on it. Maybe you can explain more in detail. I can't put my thumb on it, but what you're doing is different. It is. And what I mean by that, prime example, if you look at, say, like and I hate to even make this comparison because, you know, you're a white female and she's a white Australian female, Iggy Azalea, right?
Happens.
It happens, right?
Yeah.
But just for a lack of a better person to compare you to, is you, to me, Iggy seems like she was manufactured. And I don't want to say that in a disrespectful way. I just think that it's something that I think she does what she feels she needs to do to come across as whatever she's trying to come across as. You understand what I'm saying? But with you, I feel like, man, and the thing is, I think she's just rapping. You know what I'm saying? I think she's just rapping. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dogging her or dissing her or anything like that, but she's just rapping. With you, you're rapping, but you're doing something else. There's something else there. And a person that sees the visuals and then hears it, I'm pretty sure they can understand what I'm saying too. It's just not rapping. It's like a subgenre. It's not just rap. You know, like you said, you're kind of like a pop artist and you sing sometimes. And what I'm just going on. I'm giving you your flowers. All right, listen. I saw like Heaven Sent. You're singing, but you're not trying to be pretty. You're just singing. You're just doing what you can do. You're doing what's necessary for the song and for what you thought of. And I like that. And I'm going to tell you why I really like that. Because I used to do music, right?
Oh, okay.
And I can't sing. I can hold a note. I can hold a tune. And I used to sing a lot of my hooks. And I never claimed to be a singer. I can't even sing as good as Drake, you know? And Drake can't sing, but he can make it sound really good. I did what I felt was needed for the song. And if I felt that it didn't need singing, then I'd do something else, or I'd get somebody else, like a real singer, to do it. And I feel that's what you do. I feel you do what's needed for the song. You facilitate whatever needs to be facilitated with your craft. And I love it because it's organic and you're not trying to be somebody that you're not. You're not trying to out here, you're not auto-tuned up and trying to really sing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just doing what Luna Gray does.
Right. I mean, when I music, you know, I started off only rapping. Like, I started off like being a freestyler. I just, like, you know, when I was in my teens, I just started freestyling all the time. So it started off solely rap, and I always thought, man, I'm never gonna sing. Like, that's not gonna be what I do. And then as time went on, and I started really falling in love with a lot of R&B songs and songs that we're singing, I was like, you know what? I need to go in this direction. Yeah. Because that's what I truly loved beyond rap. I also really loved the emotions behind a lot of R&B and songs of singing. And, you know, it was crazy because for a long time, you know, my voice is unique. I kind of have a lower set voice than what I would assume a female singer to have. So when I would hear my voice, I would think, like, I'm not supposed to sing. Like, my voice doesn't sound like everybody else.
Right.
So I thought that was a bad thing. I thought that was like, oh no, I can't sing. I'm not like everyone else. And then you know, this was a while ago, but then someone told me, like, your voice is so unique. I love this. And I was like, really? You like that? And then I realized, like, that's the best part about my voice being different.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It truly is. Because you, See, that's the thing, man. When you discover what you truly are and what you can truly do, and you own it and you live in it, then it just becomes so organic that people can't do nothing but accept it. Now, if you're stuck and you're bad, it is what it is. But you don't. You know what I'm saying? And you use your instruments. You don't try to stretch your instruments.
Exactly.
You don't try to stretch it to where it shouldn't go. You stay right there in that pocket. And look at what's his name? Adam Levine. He doesn't try to blow like Usher or like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't try to take it there. He sits in that pocket and it works. And he's made millions off of sitting in that comfortable pocket, making it work. And that's his sound. And when you hear him, you know it's him. And you love it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And I'm telling you, man, that's what you're doing with the hip hop and the pop. And it just works. You know what I'm saying? It just works. And I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I always had a thing for voices like that when you hear the song, you know who it is, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I have one of those voices where it's like, oh, you know, like, oh, that's The Weeknd. Everyone knows The Weeknd. You know, it's kind of like that. So
yeah. You know, and I say this in good taste. You don't sound like a white female trying to rap. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't sound hokey. It doesn't sound generic. It doesn't sound corny. It sounds like Luna Gray. It sounds like what you do. What you do.
That's it.
You know, that's what I'm telling you. When I first heard it, I was like, okay, I get it.
Right.
It's her.
Right.
Because you can tell.
They see me. They're like, wait, this is your song? This is your song. I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay. They're like, I don't want to be weird, but like, I was picturing someone completely different. So I love that though. I love to like blow people's minds with that.
Right. Yeah, man. It's great. I love it. I love it. So to say this, keep doing what you're doing because there's longevity in being a character. And how could you not? Because it's you. So just continue doing that. Like, you know, I see that you're like a weed connoisseur. You're talking about mushrooms. But everything is you. Yeah. Everything is you. And okay, I don't want to jump in too far. I want to talk about you and this whole weed thing and the mushrooms because you're an advocate. Like you're on your lives, you're on your page, and you're talking about it, whatever. But let's get back to the single, Big Boys.
Big Boys, yep.
What is your message in that? Is that like you kicking down the door? Like, talk about.
Yeah, that song. You know, I mean, I'm in Chicago and I'm a white female who raps, and it's kind of the kind of thing where it's like, you know, I am very heavily involved in cannabis. Okay. I have been growing my business for the last 4 years in that. And I kept it a complete secret. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody had any idea that I was in cannabis until the last maybe 6 months. I mean, and so for me, it was really kind of my coming forward and being like, oh, hey, you guys know me for music. By the way, I'm like super heavy in the weed game. So okay. And that's kind of what the song is. It's kind of like, I came through like King Kong, busting out the window, you know? Like, I know you guys think that you up to something with what you know, but I'm up to something too. So yeah, okay. And it's something where, I'm the kind of person who I don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it, and I am about it. So it was like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys what's going to happen. I'm just going to wait till it does. Yeah. And that's the point I'm at now where it's like, I have expanded this where I'm signing all these I'm expanding across the country. This will be going to different countries. Okay. Corporation that I've built, it's huge, and I was really like, I'm the co-founder. I'm not the founder. I'm the co-founder, and I don't know. It was just a perfect thing for me because I've always been heavily I've always really loved weed, and it's funny. I remember like 7 years ago being like, all I want to do is smoke weed and rap. And how do you think my parents liked that? Right. My parents, they were like, oh hell no, no, like no. And I was like, I don't know. Like that was what made me happy. You know, weed helped me cope with things.
Yeah. It's medicine.
Yeah.
They should legalize it everywhere.
But you know, like even like a little bit ago, people didn't see it like that.
I know.
You know, so, but I was like, okay, guys, catch up because I know what's going to happen. And I got in the industry at the perfect time with cannabis. So
it's legal? It's legal in Illinois?
You said what?
It's legal in Illinois?
It's legal.
Oh, okay. I don't keep up with all the states who've legalized it, so that's what's up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're doing it.
They need to legalize it everywhere, man. It's medicine, you know, and it was all media. It was all media, you know. It warps people's mind, you know. Yeah. So it's medicine. It's from the earth. I didn't used to really think it was bad. I just didn't really care for it, but now I understand it more. I don't smoke it. If I were to ever use it, I'd probably use like edibles or something like that because I just don't like smoking my lungs. But I get it though, and I love the way it smells. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm not against it at all. I advocate it, man, and I use like CBD and all that type of stuff. But
nice, very nice. That's also a new thing that's really like popping right now with CBD.
Oh yeah, and it works. Yeah, it really works. Yeah.
It does. Right when you use it, you kind of get a little bit of it perks you up a little bit, you know?
Yep. Takes the pain away, all that.
It's funny because the way that I saw cannabis, 4 years ago when I was getting my feet in the sand, is the way that I see mushrooms right now.
Okay.
I mean, there are so many medicinal aspects of psychedelic mushrooms, and they are being used legally and medicinally as well. I mean, okay. I remember around the time I was getting into cannabis, I remember I went to some meetup groups, and it was called Psychiatrists for Mushrooms. So I would go to these meetup groups, and it was me and a bunch of doctors. Like, I'm talking like top, like neurologists, like
wow,
very important people. And I would sit there like, I'm just a consumer, guys. But I mean, like, I was like the only person that was there that wasn't a doctor. But I was just there, like, just hearing what you guys got to say. And they were kind of like, why is this girl here? But okay,
So being in those groups and hearing everything that you're hearing, you're thinking that mushrooms is like next after weed, after it's all legalized, then it's gonna be mushrooms and the science of mushrooms and people get more educated on it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because, there's actually something about mushrooms where, okay, so after a certain age, our brains, think of your brains like a computer. They have different wires that plug into different places. After a certain age, those wires are plugged in and they kind of stay there. If you're stubborn at 30, you're probably going to be stubborn at 60. Okay?
Right.
Like, psychedelic mushrooms, this is actually true. A fact about them is that is one of the only things on Earth, especially natural things on Earth, that actually unplugs those wires and can rework them. So if you have things that you're trying to, if you have issues with depression, anxiety, a lot of mental health illnesses, shrooms can unplug those circuits, and you can learn through microdosing or smart usage how to address those issues. And it can make you happier.
So you can pretty much reprogram.
Reprogramming is what it can do. One of the only things on Earth, especially natural, that really does that. So I back it because I know what it's done for my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll
be the advocate because it's, I also have a very large tattoo with psychedelic mushrooms on my leg, so I'm really an advocate now.
you all the way in. You bought in.
Now.
But hey, listen, you guys heard it here from Luna Gray. Mushrooms are next on the list after everyone passes and legalizes marijuana. Mushrooms, y'all. I never really got into mushrooms. I mean, I've never used them, but never really even thought much about them. I just knew that they have you kind of psyched out or whatnot. But and I don't really know the effects or like the side effects or the after effects or coming down or whatever. I don't know anything about mushrooms. But now that you say it though, it is like the only other natural drug from the earth, quote unquote drug from the earth, that Why
I don't
not?
know how something from the earth can be a drug.
Right.
I mean, yes, psychoactive, yes, but like, does that mean it's a drug? I mean, to some people, yeah, but to me, it makes it medicine.
Right.
That's how I look at it. So.
Right. So could you? I mean, I guess it's given the individual, but because like weed, it'll mellow you out. Nobody's going out and killing anybody on some weed. Mushrooms, could you get so psyched out that you do crazy things, or is it kind of just like a discovery type of experience?
I've definitely done crazy things. I haven't harmed anybody, but
Okay.
or myself or anything like that. But I mean, it's the kind of thing where you do want to be in a safe environment.
Okay.
You do want to have someone there that understands the process, or that's sober and can be your trip sitter, as
Right.
they call it.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a shaman, but you want to make sure you're going into it with a little bit of, understanding, because it can be very overwhelming for people. And you can take enough to a point where you're like, it's a very long trip. It can range anywhere from like 6 hours to like 12, 13. Like,
Damn, for real?
I've had trips where I didn't sleep for like 2 days straight, because I still
Oh my
had
God.
like slight, but I took a lot, but I had slight after effects, where, it can kind of jumble you up, but
You ate the whole goddamn mushroom.
yeah. You're reprogramming your brain. So basically it allows you to look at your life currently with a new set of eyes. And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, like I said, it truly changed my life, and it really has helped me. Depression was huge for me. I mean, I was clinically depressed for years. Life just didn't have meaning. It really did not.
Wow.
For a long time. And music.
I was gonna ask you, did it change your music, your style of music, or any type of things like that?
It changed everything. I'm not gonna say that shrooms are why, music is what it is for me, because I was doing music before shrooms, and that's such a funny comment. Music before shrooms, but I was making music, when I was really, really, really depressed, and for me it was truly survival. Okay. I mean, that's why I got out of bed. Nothing for music. And
I was gonna ask you that. You answered my question. I was gonna ask you, did music derive from a need, love, or a passion? So for you, it was a need.
It wasn't. It was like, yeah, like I enjoyed it. So yeah, like there was like the part of like the passion, definitely passion. Yeah. But it truly was like.
It's what got you out of bed.
Yeah, I mean, it was like for me, there was a where I did not want to live for a couple of years. Wow. And so for me, it was like I had addictions to bad substances, not shrooms, things that were really bad.
Yeah.
Not really bad, but I was constantly, self-medicating.
Yeah, you were searching for something to bring you out of it. That's all.
And the only healthy coping mechanism I had was writing music. That was the only one that actually made me feel complete. It made me feel whole. Yeah. And that's how music got involved. And then, later I kind of did more like, I was still a pothead back then, but later got involved. And I believe that, stepping into my path with music, discovering shrooms and learning the benefits of those.
Yeah.
It got me through my depressions, and I truly do not suffer with depression anymore. I mean, it's truly a miracle. I was like as bad.
That's amazing.
I mean, it is really amazing.
That's amazing.
So.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Music saved my life, and I think for that reason, I mean, I'm telling you, like, it saved me, and I think if that's why I have so much dedication to music, because it saved my life, and I feel like I owe my life to music.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am a sacrifice for my purpose, and I mean that in a very positive way.
Yeah.
But I have a very, very deep and twisted story as well that I'm gonna slowly be unfolding over the next, year. But
I was gonna say that. Definitely continue to tell your story, because it's you. Mm-hmm. It's part of your brand. Mm-hmm. Because you are an open book, you kind of transparent, I can tell. And continue to tell your story, because here's the thing. You're an entertainer, right? Mm-hmm. You would say you're an entertainer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A lot of artists forget to entertain.
Right.
You're an entertainer, so why don't you entertain? If you just want to rap, go stand on the corner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People want to be entertained. That's why they'll buy into your brand. They'll buy into your lifestyle. They'll buy into your story. They'll spend money with you because they want to be entertained and they want to feel like they are included in your journey and your story. And if you continue to tell your story, everything, like even outside of the music, they feel like they're still involved because they kind of know your life. They don't know you, but they kind of know your life. And a lot of artists forget to entertain. And what I mean by entertain, I don't mean jumping around, acting crazy or whatever. But like I said, you're a character, so you're gonna entertain. But then your side story, that also entertains. And for others, it may be different. I'm not saying you gotta shuck and jive. I'm not saying, put on a character or put on a show. People entertain differently. Like Jay-Z entertains, but he's no character. He kind of had an alter ego, you kind of pimp type of thing. But just in his own way, he still entertains. There's an energy there. I go to a Jay-Z show 50 times over, and it's a different experience every time. But does he dance around on stage or anything? No. But that energy is so captivating when he's up there, man. It just keeps you locked in. And you're just like, oh my God, I've never felt like this before. Artists forget to entertain, and that's why they lose. That's why they lose their audience. The audience gets bored. Like, okay, you can rap. You got bars, you got metaphors. What now? You're still an entertainer. It's an entertainment business. Don't forget to entertain. But see, some people try to entertain by putting on a show, a facade that's really not them. And that's when they get caught up too, because then when they get exposed, they lose their audience too.
Right.
Or they get into some nonsense they never should have been in because they were never a thug or a gangster or a murderer or a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? But they put on that facade like they are. Then they get into some real stuff. And now it's like, oh, I was just entertaining.
Right. People are going to,
Yeah. So for you entertain. Some artists forget to entertain.
Right.
And they lose. So I don't think you're going to have any problems.
Don't.
Huh?
I usually don't have many problems with that. No.
Nah, I don't think so. So what type of, okay, you've talked about depression. You've talked about your medicinal weed business, right? Everything, mushrooms, all that. What would you say is your message behind your music, like overall?
I mean, so message, yeah, we can get into that. I think for me, something I want to address with that is that for me, it's more about creating a world for people to be free to be themselves.
Good.
Because when I was truly depressed, I clung to music because I didn't feel alone. And for me, it's about being somebody that can be relatable to people so that they don't have to feel alone and feel misunderstood, because the world is always going to shoot you down.
Yeah.
Over and over. And I came to a point where I realized that like 90% of people, they kind of suck. I mean, maybe they don't suck, but like most people that you encounter, at some point, something's going to rub you the wrong way.
Yep.
Be disappointed. And
yep.
For me, it's really that my message is that be true to yourself, and the people, anybody, we have our own purpose in life, and it is not our job to make other people happy. It is our job to make ourselves happy.
Absolutely. But it's also not our job to make other people's lives miserable either.
It's absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? And people complicate things. People complicate the simplest situations, the simplest desires, the simplest feelings, emotions. They complicate it for no reason, and sometimes on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Man, and when I see you, I see like you make someone feel like you're approachable, you're fun loving, like you walk up and like, hey girl, hey, whatever, and it's genuine. That's how your music comes across. You present yourself, and we're gonna get into your music video too, so people can kind of understand what we're talking about here, because you can tell in the music video you're just having fun, you're just being you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's jump into that. This is Big Boys by Luna Gray. This is your new single?
This is my new single. Yep, it is.
New single. World premiere right here on the Kickin' with KoolKard show. Big Boys. Let's go. Dope.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you. It's
Who produced that?
Colorful.
Huh?
Very colorful.
Very colorful, very fun.
Quirky, fun. Yeah.
Yes. But it's you.
It is me.
Without a doubt. I don't think anybody could question that after seeing that. That is you. That is Luna Gray. If anybody asks, who's Luna Gray? Go watch the Big Boys video.
That's like the combination of everything. Got the cannabis, got the music. Let's go.
Right. You showing your tat. You showing your personality. Yep. You got your girls. Y'all wildin'. That's what's up. Who produced that?
The beat. His name is Sahara. Sahara got heat.
Dope. Dope. You got any other stuff from him?
I do not. No, that's the only song. No, that was
man.
One. Just got that beat and then just went crazy.
Yeah, man. I like it. Do you have a project out currently, or are you just pushing that single?
So I'm pushing the single, but Big Boys it's actually going to be on an upcoming project.
Okay.
That will be dropping this year.
Okay.
I have not told anybody that. This is truly the premiere for me announcing that. So that will that will be happening. Well, maybe I'll let you guys know later. World premiere.
Let's play the horn. Mm-hmm. World premiere.
That one?
That's what's up. So are you gonna get any more tracks from him? Do you feel like that's something that you wanna continue to do? Like, do you like his sound?
I do. I mean, I work with so many different people that it's like it's hard for me to keep up with all the people trying to work with me.
Okay.
So I do tend to work around a lot. I travel a lot, so I meet a lot of people on the road, and I like to network in different cities a lot. So yeah, I'm definitely open to it.
That's dope, man. That is dope. You know what I like? And I hate to even go back to this, but I'm gonna go back to it. I feel like you blur the color lines. I say this, I keep saying this, but I'm gonna keep saying it because you blur the color lines. I think that when somebody hears your music or even sees you, they won't think about color. That's how powerful I think. That's how powerful I think what you are doing is.
Well, thank you.
You don't think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the only reason I keep talking about it is because in hip hop, people give Eminem hell, and he's one of the dopest MCs who's ever touched it. I'm sorry, I'm here to say it. I don't care color. It doesn't matter. If you're good and you're dope and you're great, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you still got people that jab at him about a color or some. It makes no sense to me. I think we lost her. Where you at, Luna? Did your phone die? Luna! I don't know. We'll get her back. Anyway, I'll keep talking. Like I was saying, it just makes no sense for people to keep jabbing at like an Eminem over like color or something like that, man. If you're good at what you do, you're good at what you do. Period, point blank, it does not matter. And I think that she has that quality of being able to blur a line and you really not caring about the color. Because when I hear Eminem, I don't think about, he's a white guy rapping. I don't think about that. I think that he's good. I get captivated in the words. I get captivated in the lyrics, his metaphors, the wordplay, his character. He's another character, and you know it. I get captivated in that, and I don't think about that. But there's some people that just can't let that thing go. And it's, hip hop started in the Bronx, black thing, you know what I'm saying? And I pay all due respect to that. Respect it all. But if somebody else comes along from a different race or whatever and can do it well, it should be love, man. It should, And a lot of people love Eminem. I'm not saying everybody takes jabs, but there are certain people that still do. And won't give him the credit because of that reason, which is crazy to me because he's ill. Let's see if we can't get her back on the line. I don't know if I think her phone might have died. I think her phone might have died. You know what? Let me go back. Yeah. I think her phone might have died. We'll see if we can't get her back on the line. Good interview, great interview. Yes, man. Yes. I'm happy about this interview. I'm happy to interview her. I think she's a creative, and I love creatives. Like, she's just doing her, man. It's just great to be you and do you and be entertaining, and you don't have to be somebody else or act like somebody else to entertain or get your point across. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Yes, yes, yes. I got more music for her from her too. I'm gonna play another video for you guys. Excuse me. So you can check her out and see what she's all about. Like she said, she's dropping a project. I already thought she had a project out, honestly. And I wonder if this is her first project. I'm not sure. I need to ask her about that. But from the video, it doesn't seem like this will be her first project. Seems like she's very seasoned. Like she said, she's been freestyling and rhyming for a while, but you know, it's a different beast when you're in front of the camera or you're on the mic too. Studio type of stuff. It's different than just rhyming on the block. But I think she does it very well. She kind of feels seasoned to me. So, but if this is her first, then I'm impressed. Very impressed. Even more impressed than I already was. Yeah. But let's see if we can't get her back on. I'm gonna try to call her up. Let me see. Nah, I think her phone died. She said she was on 10%. But if we lost her for the night, it's all good. She gave me a good 30 plus minutes of content, good interview, good value. Just showing you herself to you guys. Everybody tuning in. I'm going to see if we can't get her back on here. Would like to continue the interview because I got more questions for her. And I'm pretty sure she has some more things she wants to talk about too. So. Oh, there she goes. Let's go. There she goes. Where you at, girl? Your phone died, didn't it?
Grabbed a charger prior, and I grabbed an Android charger. I don't.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I'm so sorry about that, but I am plugged in, and I'm not leaving you again. I promise.
It's all good. I held it down till you came back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I remember you saying 10%, and I was like, oh, her phone probably died.
Well, at least I gave you a heads up prior, so okay,
nah,
great.
We're good. Normally when it happens like that, that's what happens. The phone dies or something.
Yeah.
But it's all good. But like I was saying, I was just saying that, and I don't want to keep drilling it, but it's there. And the only reason I keep talking about it is because, you know, with the whole hip hop thing, started in the Bronx, it's a black thing, black culture, whatever. So some people give people from another race a hard time when they see them doing what they feel like is theirs. You know what I'm saying? But good is good, great is great. I feel like Eminem is great. I don't care what color he is, what race he is, but some people do. And they won't give him that top 5 or give him his flowers. And I think that's just wrong.
Yeah.
So for you, I feel like when I hear your music, just like Eminem is a character. He's another character, right? Yeah. Just being him. He's a character. And it, like, when I hear him, I don't think about color. I just think about good music, good lyrics, a good body of work. And when I hear you, I don't think about color. You know, because like I was saying earlier, you don't come across as a white girl trying to rap. Mm-hmm. When you hear that and you know it's an effort and it's kind of bad, then it's like,
Right.
You think about that. But with you, I don't think about that. You just think about it's good music. I like what she's doing. She's being her. She's not trying to be somebody she's not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all I want to say.
There's so much I could say about this because I think for me, you know, music, because I think the reason that it comes across that way is because it is authentic. And you know, I struggled a lot for anybody. It's not about my skin color. I struggled a lot. I was homeless. I've been blind. I've been paralyzed. I've dealt with things that, you know, I've dealt with adversities that a lot of people don't understand. So for me, it was truly me releasing my struggle. And I think that is a big part of hip hop, regardless as to me being white or not. And, you know, that's what it truly is about to me. It's truly about releasing my pain. And I you know, I think as long as it's authentic and it's real, that's what matters.
You know,
you know?
Yeah, and that's real. And see, that's the thing, like, you get it because that's what hip hop was birthed out of. People searching for a way to express themselves.
Exactly.
You know, it was like a muzzled whole community of people that didn't really have a voice or a say so, and they had something to say. You know what I'm saying? And it was birthed out of that hunger to be heard, to be felt, to get their point across. So why can't someone else utilize that tool or that avenue? That release, yeah, exactly.
And you know, absolutely. And I, you know, a lot of times people will ask me, if they even give me that blessing to ask me without assuming, but they'll ask me, why do you do music?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I do music? I do music for survival.
Yeah.
I do music because music is breathing.
Yeah.
This isn't me trying to be anything. This isn't me wanting to be anything.
Yeah.
I'm truly happy at this point in my life, and this is me. I don't know what else to do with my life because this is the only thing that ever made me happy.
Right.
I have to do what makes me happy. It's like I can't listen to all this all day long. It's always going to be there, but I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point of life if you're not happy? I have to do what makes me happy. My own family did not want me doing music. So when a random stranger on the street has a problem with it, do you really think I care?
Right.
My parents, the people I was raised by were completely against it for completely different reasons. They wanted me to be a doctor or whatever. So,
yeah.
That's why everyone else, from the peanut gallery, I can't listen to it because I didn't even listen to it from people I love.
Right.
It's like I've heard it all. I had to do what I love and what makes me happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and I want to inspire people, number one too, because for me during those depressions, I felt so alone, and I want to create a world for people to escape into. Mm-hmm. That's similar to the worlds that I was escaping into. And I know that with my story and the things that I've been through, I can create a new world that people haven't seen before or been to before. And that's the ultimate goal, is to help people at the end of the day, inspire people and give them a place to feel safe to be themselves.
Yeah.
So it's bigger than just even me inventing. That's very important. Yeah, that's why it started. But now it's even bigger, where it's like, I want to help people. At the end of the day, when I leave this earth, I'll be damned if it's not a better earth than when I came into it.
Yeah. There's nothing more special than making someone feel like they're not alone. You know what I'm saying? In their journey or their struggle.
Absolutely.
when they need to know that they are not alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
because there's one thing, which is being alone because nobody's around you, and it's another thing when you're alone but people are around you.
Exactly.
Because nobody understands this.
Yeah.
No one can relate to this and what's going on. And I want to help relate to people with my own, my own story. So that's what it's became. That's became even more important than me healing. I'm healed. I feel great now. But
now
I
you're
still
giving back.
Yeah, I have the traumas from my past though that other people I know are going through now. Mm-hmm. So it's about, it's about transmuting that pain into something positive. Yeah. And that's a big part of my movement too, is, I used to be very self-destructive because all I knew was pain and negative things. There was a lot of, people, I'll tell everybody more about this all later and whatnot, but all I knew was pain. So all I did was make more pain for myself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And over the last couple of years, I've learned how to take that pain and transmute it into something different and stop destroying and start creating. Yeah. So that's part of my movement, is creation over destruction.
Yeah, because it's all a mental thing. It's all about what you think. It's all about how you make yourself feel, because if all you know is pain and all you know is turmoil or letdowns, you're always gonna doubt it. You're gonna see a good thing and you're gonna be immediately oh, that's not gonna last, or that's too good to be true. You know what I'm saying? That type of spirit, that type of talk is self-destructive.
It really is.
How do you come out of the depths of that when that's all you think? You are what you think, man.
You are. And it makes me sad to hear people who speak like that, because the thing about it, people can grow and get past it. 'Cause I used to be in that spot. But the thing about it, people have to truly want that for themselves, and they have, and it's like you can't force change upon anybody, and that's another thing that I believe is you can't change people. Yep. They have to change themselves, but help inspire, the seedling that they can water to grow into that. So that's what I want to do is, I'll give you some seeds, and whether you plant it or not is up to you.
Yeah, can't change them.
My best,
but you can inspire change,
and that's the goal.
They got to do the work.
We got to make a better future. The world is it's a lot of BS.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Yeah, it's getting worse. So you need people like yourself that's really gonna show people the light, allow people to know that they're not alone and that you can basically, what am I saying? Losing my train of thought. Basically, you can relate.
Yeah.
You've been there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all people need sometimes. That's all they need.
It is. Just to have just to feel like they're understood sometimes, you know?
Absolutely. You mentioned that you were blind. Can you expound on that?
I was blind. I was also paralyzed. I also lost my sense of touch. And it all happened at different points of my life. Due to medical things that I'm not going to disclose.
No. Okay, that's fine.
But you know, the reason that I'm proud of overcoming that, because when you can't see, what the hell?
Yeah. After having sight, you know, I'm sure that's even worse.
It was horrifying. And in all of these circumstances, the doctors, they didn't know if I'd see again. They didn't know if I'd walk again. They didn't know if I would feel my flesh again. And
wow.
That's why, to me, it's like when it comes to the whole, you know, skin color shit, it's upsetting because it's like there's so many different things people can go through. You really don't know people's stories, you know, but, so basically, you know, I have some, you know, something that was going on when I was younger, and I did have to relearn how to walk, you know, like 7 years ago, and I was blind like 8 years ago, and I mean, it was a horrible place to be. You know, I would sit in the hospital bed, and when I was paralyzed, and I remember all I would do was write music. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything normal people could do. I couldn't even get out of bed. So all I would do is just sit there and write and write and write and vent and vent and vent. And I told myself that if I walk again, I'm not going to walk, I'm going to run.
Hell yeah.
And I think it's such a blessing that I went through those things, because that's why I'm so determined at what I do. You know, at that period of my life, I kind of felt like I was fighting the clock. I was fighting my circumstances. It was always a constant fight and battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew as soon as I was healthy again, I was like, I'm not wasting any more time.
Yeah.
I am not wasting any more time. I wasted too much time.
Yeah.
Dealing with all this stuff that I couldn't control.
Yeah.
So everything I can control with my life, I do. And I take it, you know, I'm not going to, so I have to leave my stamp. I have a story. I have to leave my stamp. It's like, that's why I'm here.
But it all makes sense now on your whole, like your character, your energy.
That's why it's like.
Yeah, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. You're a perfect example of somebody living their life like the day could be your last. So you live the hell out of it.
That's exactly what it is. So, dude, because I was forced to not live.
Yeah.
I was forced to pause time and just. I felt like it was just miserable. I didn't want. You know, it's like, how do you?
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I can't
imagine. I like, I could, if it happened again. I mean, I know I can get through it, but it's like it's obviously that's. But so I don't know. It's just one of those things where you'll never understand how it is until you go through it.
Yeah.
And it made me a better person.
Absolutely.
So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
For my struggle. I'm grateful for my pain. Truly grateful. And it took, you know, years and years and years and years for me to go, oh, that's why that had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I got sick my first time, my life was going in an entirely different direction.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, music was always my true love. It was my true happiness. And I was so stuck in what the world thought. And then I ended up paralyzed. And then so my old dreams were shattered, and all I had was music. And that's when I said, you know what? I don't care what anybody thinks about me being a rapper. I don't care. And it gave me the bravery, the courage to just do it. And that's what I'm doing. So.
Yeah. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. But
anywhere. I promise you that.
It all shines through, and it makes so much more sense after hearing that.
So.
Like, I'm telling you, it makes so much more sense.
Yeah, right. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
I have people these things, but it's like I don't want to have to tell people that for them to like see my vision.
No, you don't. You don't.
Flattered by the fact that people don't even know that most of the time, and they already see the vision. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to tell that story to see the vision. It just pieces it all together though once you do know that. But like I said, like I was telling you earlier, how I was lifting you up, giving you flowers. Like, I didn't know that, but I see that, I feel that, you get that, So yeah, but now once you learn the backstory, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what I mean?
It's real.
Keep living, man. Keep living, girl. Keep living. Keep doing what you're doing. Great. Seriously, keep doing. Life is great. Absolutely, life is great. I'm thankful to have met you. I'm thankful to have interviewed you. Like, for real. Like,
thank you. I'm so thankful to be here. This is great.
Yeah. Your energy is contagious, man. You got me smiling from ear to ear.
I know, right? Here the whole time.
For real, man. So listen, you got your project coming out. You just announced that to the world. No one knew that. You got your project coming. Oh, this is what I was talking about when you went off air for a second. I was like, is this your first project? I know you said you've been rapping forever. You've been writing forever. You've been freestyling. But like, is this your first studio project? So
I did drop a 5-song EP 6 years ago.
Okay.
And it actually, it was a pretty good project, but, I was really new to the game. I dropped it on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Like I didn't really, so it's my first, but this is my first like official release.
Okay.
And this isn't SoundCloud, you know what I mean? So this is, I would say, my first project, yeah.
I was saying that it feels like, you've been here before. Like, this isn't your first project. You feel
right.
Feels like you're seasoned. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like I was saying, well, yeah, I know you've been rapping for a long time, and but it's a different beast when you get in front of that camera, you get in that studio. It's just different. But yeah, it doesn't feel like this would be your first project. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. Yeah, man. I can't wait. Definitely hit me in the DM, do something, tag me, let me know when you're dropping it. I'm going to post, blast it, and whatever. Definitely going to go support. Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate that.
Keep me posted. You got a fan for life. Thank you. And I support it. And everything else you're doing too, because I support that. For what you're doing it for and what you're representing, yeah, man, it's all good. For sure.
I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else? Oh, tell people where they can find you. Got your website. I got all of the stuff in the description on the YouTube channel. I got all the links, but go ahead and drop your links for everybody.
You guys can follow me everywhere at The Luna Grey. That is TheLunagrey. At The Luna Grey, Grey. You can find me on every social media with that handle.
And you got your website too, right?
I do have my website as well. It is thelunagrey.com.
Yes. And her music is on Apple Music. I believe it's on Spotify. It's on all the platforms. Go check her out. Big Boys is the single. Play the video. You saw it. Go stream it on Apple Music. Show that support, y'all. She's the truth. She's organic. She's original. She's being her. It's not a gimmick. She does what she does. Damn it.
Damn it. That's right.
Yes, indeed. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you lending me your time. It's always a blessing to have people like you come on here, drop some value for the viewers, kick it with your boy. You know what I'm saying? You gave me a good hour of your life. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was great. It was so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. I told you, if you're talking, I'm not gonna stop you. So, yeah.
Well, I can talk, so.
Oh, but that's good for talk. It's good for a talk show. It's great. But yeah, definitely. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is another episode of Kickin with KoolKard. Episode 56 is in the bag. Tune in every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You never know who I might have. I'm going to turn it up a notch this year. Made 1 year last December, my anniversary, and I'm keeping going strong, man. Trying to get that 100 mark. trying to get that TV show. You guys are all part of my plan. You guys are part of the process, and you're helping me. I appreciate it. Don't ever think that I don't. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all want me to continue bringing this value to you. Make sure you go check out Luna on Instagram and all the other social sites. The Luna Gray, Gray with an E. Check her out, y'all. Girl, you are heaven sent. You have a message for people. You are helping people. And with that note, let's segue on out to your heaven sent video.